2 nights before my wedding in India, I found my name on a document I was never supposed to see at first. I thought it was just another piece of wedding paperwork. Then I saw my passport number, my inheritance amount, my apartment, and beneath all of it, a signature line waiting for me. That's when I realized the family I had crossed an ocean to join wasn't preparing me for a wedding tradition. They were preparing me to give them everything I had, and the man I loved, he already knew. 3 months earlier, I had been sitting on the floor of my bedroom in London, surrounded by open suitcases, wedding clothes, and the strange excitement that comes when your entire life is about to change. I was moving to India to marry Arjun. We had met online almost 2 years earlier. He was patient. Funny, he remembered things I forgot. I had told him. When I once mentioned that I missed my grandmother, he found an old photograph of his own grandmother and sent it to me. He wrote, "She's not your grandmother, but I think they'd have liked each other." I cried when I read it. That was the kind of man I believed I was marrying. He made distance feel smaller. He made unfamiliar things feel safe. And when I told him I was terrified about leaving everything I knew, he looked directly into my eyes and said, "You're not leaving your life behind. You're coming to build another one with me." I believed him. Maybe that's the dangerous thing about love. It doesn't always make you blind. Sometimes it makes you see the red flags and love the person enough to explain them away. When I arrived in India, his family welcomed me warmly. His mother Mira hugged me and said, "You are our daughter now." His father smiled and told me, "After the wedding, this is your home too." I had spent years wondering what it would feel like to belong somewhere completely, and for the first few weeks, I thought I'd finally found it. The wedding preparations were beautiful. The colors, the music, the food, the endless relatives coming in and out. I felt overwhelmed almost every day. Whenever I did, Arjun found me. One evening, I was sitting alone on the balcony, staring at the lights. Below, he came and sat beside me. "You are quiet. I think I'm scared." "Of what?" He said. "Of disappointing everyone." He took my hand. "You don't have to become someone else to belong here." I looked at him. "You promise?" He smiled. "I promise." That promise would haunt me later, because only days afterward, his mother mentioned something she called a family tradition. Every bride, she said, had to complete a small ceremony before the wedding. There would be some documents, a symbolic exchange of jewelry, nothing unusual. I laughed. "What kind of tradition?" She smiled. "You'll understand when the time comes." I glanced at Arjun. His expression changed. Just for a second, but I saw it. That night I asked him, "What are those documents?" "Nothing important," he said. "Then why can't you tell me?" He looked away. "It's just family stuff." I waited. "Arjun," he sighed, "please trust me." I did. Because he had spent 2 years teaching me that his word was the safest place I could put my trust. And then something strange happened. The next day, he took me out. Just the 2 of us. We walked through a crowded market, ate together, laughed and forgot about the wedding for a few hours. Before we went home, he bought me a small bracelet. "It isn't expensive," he said. "I don't care." "I know," he said. Then he looked at me and said, "I want you to remember something. No matter what happens with the wedding, you are the best thing that ever happened to me." I smiled. I believed him. That night, I slept peacefully for the first time in weeks. The next evening, I found the document. I was looking for my passport in the study. A brown folder sat on the desk. My name was written across it. I stopped breathing. I opened it. The first page contained my full legal name, then my passport number, then my address. I turned the page. My savings, my inheritance, my grandmother's apartment. I felt cold. Why did they have this information? I turned another page. There was a section about transferring control of certain assets after marriage, and beneath it, my signature. I read it again, then again. My hands were shaking so badly that I nearly dropped the paper. I heard footsteps. I put everything back, but it was too late. Something inside me had already changed. I found Arjun upstairs. "Did you know?" He looked at me. He didn't ask what I meant. He just whispered, "Please let me explain." My heart sank. "You knew." He closed his eyes. "Yes." I felt like the room had disappeared around me. "How long?" He didn't answer. "How long have you known?" "Before you came." I stared at him. Before I came. Before I left my family. Before I boarded the plane. Before I trusted him enough to build my future around him. "You knew about my inheritance before I came here." "Yes." The word barely left his mouth. I stepped backward. "Then why did you let me come?" His eyes filled with tears. "Because I love you." I laughed. Not because anything was funny. Because sometimes your heart doesn't know what else to do when it breaks. "You love me?" I asked. "Yes," he said then. "Why am I looking at a document that could give your family control over everything I own?" He couldn't answer. And that silence told me more than any confession could. Finally he sat down. My father's business failed. I listened. There were debts, loans, pressure from creditors. His parents were terrified of losing their home. His younger sister's education was at risk. Then his mother discovered my inheritance. And suddenly, I wasn't just Arjun's fiancé. I was the answer to a problem, I whispered. "So your family chose me because of my money?" He looked down. Yes, my chest hurt, but then he said something that made everything more complicated. I tried to stop them. I looked at him. "My mother told me I had to convince you to sign after the wedding." I told myself I'd find another way. Another way. I thought I could protect you afterward. I stared at him. "You were going to let me sign something you knew I didn't understand, and then protect me afterward." He began crying. I was scared. So was I. My voice broke. "But I crossed an ocean because I trusted you." He looked at me. "And you made my trust part of your plan." He couldn't look at me anymore. Then I asked the question that mattered most. If I had come here with nothing, no inheritance, no apartment, no savings, would you still have married me? His lips parted. Nothing came out. That silence destroyed me. Because sometimes you don't need someone to say, no. You just need to hear what they couldn't say yes to. I went upstairs and started packing. But before I left, his mother came into the room. She looked exhausted. Not angry, just broken. She said, "I know what you are thinking." I turned around. "You think my son never loved you, did he?" She looked at me for a long moment. Yes. That answer surprised me. Then she said, "And that is what makes this worse." She told me Arjun had fought with the family. He had told them he wouldn't let them take everything. But instead of standing beside me and telling me the truth, he chose silence. He believed he could control the situation. He believed he could fix everything later. He thought he could protect the woman he loved without telling her what she needed to know. He was wrong, and sometimes the most painful betrayal isn't committed by someone who doesn't love you, it's committed by someone who loves you, but still chooses cowardice over courage. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat on the edge of the bed holding the bracelet Arjun had given me the day before. The same man who had said, "You're the best thing that ever happened to me." The same man who had promised, "You don't have to become someone else to belong here." And suddenly I understood. His words had been real, but his choices had been real too. Both could exist at the same time. That was the part I couldn't forgive. Not yet. The next morning, I called my family. Then I got professional advice about protecting my property and finances. I made arrangements to go home, but I didn't tell Arjun. Instead, I told his family I would attend the ceremony. They were relieved. His mother hugged me. His father thanked me. Arjun just stared at me, because he knew something they didn't. I wasn't staying. I was waiting. On the morning of the wedding, the house was full of flowers. Everyone was dressed beautifully. Music played in the background. People smiled, and I remember thinking how strange it was that a place could look so beautiful while your heart was breaking inside it. The documents were brought to me. Mira smiled. "Just sign here." I picked up the pen. My hand was steady. For the first time since I arrived in India. It was completely steady. I looked at Arjun. He was crying. I put the pen down. "I won't sign this." The room went silent. His mother stood. "What are you saying?" "I know what this is." His father lowered his eyes. "I know about the debt. I know about my inheritance, and I know Arjun knew before I ever came here." His mother began crying. Arjun whispered, "I'm sorry." I looked at him. "I know. I love you." My eyes filled with tears. "I know." He looked surprised. I continued, "And that's why this hurts so much." I took a breath. "I don't think you are a monster, Arjun." He looked at me. "I think you are a man who was afraid, but your fear doesn't make what you did okay." He nodded. I picked up the bracelet from my wrist, the one had given me the night before everything fell apart. I placed it on the table. "You didn't need my money to marry me. You needed my trust, and you spent it." I walked away. I left India 2 days later. 4 months. I didn't speak to Arjun. He didn't chase me. He didn't send flowers. He didn't ask me to come back. Instead, he did something I never expected. He took responsibility. He told his family the money was never going to be theirs. He refused to use my inheritance. He took another job. He helped his father restructure the debt. He sold things he had once been proud of. And he told his mother, "If saving this family requires destroying another person's life, then we're not saving anything." I heard about all of it through someone else. I didn't congratulate him. I didn't forgive him. But for the first time, I thought maybe he was finally becoming the man he had promised me he would be. A year later, he sent me a letter. It didn't say, "Please come back." It didn't say, "I can't live without you." It said, "I finally understand that loving you wasn't enough. I needed to protect your trust. I failed. You never owed me forgiveness. I only hope that one day, when you think about me, you don't remember the man who betrayed you. I hope you remember that I eventually became honest enough to admit that I was wrong." I cried when I read it, not because I wanted him back, because I finally understood that closure doesn't always come from getting the person you lost. Sometimes it comes from realizing you survived losing them. 2 years later, we met again. A quiet cafe, no wedding, no family, no documents, just us. He looked older, softer. He asked about my life. I told him about my work. He smiled. "I always knew you would be okay." I looked at him. I wasn't okay for a long time. His smile disappeared. "I know." Then he said, "I hope you have the life I couldn't give you." I smiled through tears. "And I hope you become the man you wanted to be." We didn't get back together. Some doors can be forgiven without being reopened. And when I went home that evening, I sat by the window in my grandmother's apartment, the apartment they had almost taken from me. Her old jewelry box was sitting beside me. I opened it. Inside was the bracelet she had given me years ago. I held it in my hand and thought about the woman who had boarded that plane, believing love meant trusting someone completely. I wish I could go back and tell her something. I'd tell her, "You can love someone deeply and still walk away. You can understand someone's pain without accepting the pain they caused you, and losing the future you imagined doesn't mean you lost your future. Sometimes the person you love isn't your forever person. Sometimes they are the person who teaches you what you will never accept again. And sometimes the greatest act of love isn't staying. It's finally choosing yourself, because love should never ask you to surrender your safety, your future, or your identity just to prove that you care. Real love doesn't say, 'Give me everything and I'll believe you love me.' Real love says, 'You are safe with me even when I have nothing to gain.' And that is the kind of love I was looking for all along. Now you tell me, be honest. If you were her, would you forgive Arjun and give him a second chance? Or would you walk away for good? Love and lies. Because every heart has a secret. Subscribe for more emotional stories. See you in the next story.